Hey everyone, welcome back. Today we're doing a deep dive into some really interesting business advice.
Okay.
It's 16 books recommended by entrepreneur Anthony Vicino, and
Oh,
he claims to have read over 600 business books.
that's impressive.
So he's sharing, I guess the cream of the crop, his top 16 for building a successful business.
So it's like a curated list, kind of the best of the best.
Yeah, definitely. So get ready to take some notes because we're going to cover a lot of ground today.
Yeah, and it's not just a random assortment of books.
Right.
He actually organizes them into like a framework he calls the 4 spheres of influence:
I like that.
mindset, health, wealth, and skills.
Hmm.
And so it's not just about, making money or
Right.
growing your business.
Yeah.
It's about developing as a person.
Yeah, that holistic approach. So let's start with that first sphere mindset. It's like the foundation, right?
Yeah, absolutely. It all
Sure.
starts with your mindset. And the first book on his list is Letters from a Stoic by Seneca.
Now, Seneca was a Roman philosopher,
Right.
right? Like
Yeah.
ancient wisdom.
Yeah. And a lot of people don't realize how relevant Stoic philosophy is to entrepreneurship.
Oh, interesting. I've heard of Stoicism, but I'll admit I've never actually read Seneca's work.
Well, and what's great is Vicino encourages going straight to the source.
Ah.
Like, don't just read summaries or interpretations.
Mhm.
Go deep. Read the original texts.
Right, get that direct connection.
Exactly. And, one quote from Seneca that Vicino highlights is, "We are more often frightened than hurt, and we suffer more from imagination than from reality."
That's deep. I can see how that applies to entrepreneurship, though. So much of it is about overcoming fear, right?
Exactly. Fear of failure, fear of rejection.
Yeah.
But Seneca reminds us that our fears are often magnified in our minds.
I can relate to that. Sometimes I get so caught up in worst case scenarios.
Right. But the reality is often much less scary than we imagine. So next time you're feeling fear, think of Seneca.
And ask myself, is this real or just my imagination running wild? Okay, that's powerful. Now, moving on, another book that focuses on mindset is The Four Agreements by Don Miguel Ruiz.
Oh, that's a classic. Simple, but so profound.
Yeah, it's all about those agreements we make with ourselves. And Ficino specifically highlights, be impeccable with your word.
Such a powerful agreement. And it's not just about being honest with others, it's about being honest with yourself.
It's about keeping the promises you make to yourself, no matter how small.
It all comes back to self-respect.
Okay, that's a really good point. Now, next up, 12 Rules for Life by Jordan Peterson. He's a bit,
Controversial?
yeah, you could say that.
Yeah. But let's look at it this way. Ficino found value in his work, so let's see what we can learn.
Right, keeping an open mind. So what did Vicino pull from Peterson's book?
Well, there's this rule. Compare yourself to who you were yesterday, not to who someone else is today.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah.
I think we're all guilty of comparing ourselves to others, especially with social media.
Right. It's so easy to get caught up in that comparison game and feel inadequate.
Totally. Like, why isn't my business growing as fast as theirs? Or why don't I have as many followers?
Exactly. But Peterson reminds us that the only comparison that matters is with our past selves. Are we growing? Are we making progress?
Okay, yeah, shifting the focus to our own journey and our own growth, that's much healthier. All right, last but not least, in the mindset section, Mindset by Carol Dweck. This is,
This is the foundational book
Yeah.
on mindset.
yeah, I think most people have at least heard of the idea of fixed versus growth mindset.
Right. It's about whether you believe your abilities are set in stone or if you can develop them.
And Dweck's research shows that people with a growth mindset are more likely to achieve success.
And what I find fascinating is how she emphasizes the power of language. Like, just adding the word yet can make a huge difference.
Oh, right. So instead of saying, I'm not good at math, you say, I'm not good at math yet.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It opens up the possibility for growth instead of shutting it down.
Okay, I'm going to start using that. It's like a little mental trick to shift your perspective.
It is. And that's what this whole mindset section is really about.
Yeah.
It's about challenging our limiting beliefs, embracing a growth mindset, and building a foundation for success.
All right, so we've covered mindset, the first sphere, but a strong mindset is nothing if you're running on fumes, right?
Absolutely. You need to take care of your health if you want to succeed in business.
So let's move on to the next sphere, health. What does Vicino recommend for optimizing our well-being?
He suggests Outlive by Peter Attia. It's not just about living longer. It's about living better,
I like that.
extending our health span, not just our lifespan.
Okay, so it's about quality of life, not just quantity.
Right. Attia focuses on 5 key areas:
Hmm?
exercise, sleep, nutrition, mental health, and relationships.
It's a holistic approach, recognizing that all these areas are interconnected.
Exactly. You can't just focus on one and neglect the others.
Right. It's all about balance. Now, I tend to go all in on one thing at a time, like, oh, I'm going to start working out every day, but then I forget about, like, you know, eating
Well,
healthy.
we all have our areas we focus on.
Yeah. But I can see how that more balanced approach would be more effective in the long run.
And what's great about Outlive is that it gives you actionable steps. It's not just theory.
Okay, I'm definitely adding that to my reading list.
Hmm?
So, mindset, health, check, check. Now, let's talk about the big one, the one that's on everyone's mind.
Money.
Yes.
That
Wealth. It can be such a source of stress and anxiety for entrepreneurs.
It's true. But Vicino breaks it down into two categories: basic money knowledge and advanced money knowledge.
Makes it a little less intimidating.
Yeah. Like we all need to start with the fundamentals.
So where do we begin this financial education? What's first on the list?
The Psychology of Money by Morgan Housel. This one really dives into how our beliefs and emotions affect our financial decisions.
I think that's so important. We all have those money scripts we've inherited from our families or society.
Absolutely. And those scripts can either help us or sabotage us.
It's true. I know I have some limiting beliefs about money that I'm still working through.
We all do. And one quote that really stood out to me from the book is, "Saving is the gap between your ego and your income."
Whoa, okay. That's pretty deep. What does that even mean?
Well, I think it's about, our tendency to spend money to impress others.
Oh yeah, keeping up with the Joneses.
Right. But true wealth is built by delaying gratification, by saving and investing wisely.
So it's about being intentional with our spending, making choices that align with our long-term goals.
Exactly. Next up, Vicino recommends I Will Teach You to Be Rich by Ramit Sethi.
Now, I've heard good things about this one. It's very practical, right?
Extremely practical.
Hmm.
Sethi gives you a step-by-step plan to automate your finances, negotiate your bills, and start investing.
It's like he's holding your hand through the process.
He is. And he emphasizes the importance of taking action. Don't just read about it, do it.
Right, knowledge without action is useless.
Exactly. Now, for something a little different, Vicino throws in How to Get Rich by Felix Dennis.
Now, Felix Dennis was a self-made billionaire, the founder of Maxim magazine, right?
Yeah, so he knows a thing or two about wealth.
Yeah, I'm guessing this one is less about practical tips and more about, like, the mindset of wealth creation.
It is, and it's written in a very entertaining style. Dennis was known for his, let's say, colorful personality.
So it's not your typical dry finance book.
Definitely not. One quote that stuck with me is, "Anyone not busy learning is busy dying. Curiosity has led many a man and woman into the valley of serious wealth."
Oh, I like that. So it's connecting curiosity with success.
Exactly. Always be learning, always be growing.
Okay, those are some great books for basic money knowledge. Now let's move on to the advanced stuff.
All right, are you ready to level up your financial literacy?
I'm a little intimidated, but also excited. So what's first on the syllabus for advanced money knowledge?
It's Economics in One Lesson by Henry Hazlitt. Now, I know economics can sound boring, but trust me.
Yeah, it's not exactly the most thrilling topic.
But Hazlitt explains it in a way that's actually easy to understand. And it's so important to have at least a basic grasp of economics.
Right, it helps you make sense of the world.
Exactly. It affects everything from your personal finances to the global economy.
So even if we're not economists, we can benefit from understanding these principles.
Absolutely. Okay, now brace yourself for this one, Tax-Free Wealth by Tom Wheelwright.
Oh no, not taxes. Everyone's least favorite subject.
I know. But it's important to remember it's not about what you make. It's about what you keep.
That's a good point. I guess taxes can really eat into your profits if you're not careful.
Exactly. And Wheelwright shows you how to legally minimize your tax burden.
Okay, I'm listening. Maybe taxes can be interesting after all.
Maybe. And last but not least, in the Advanced Money Knowledge section, Vicino recommends What Every Real Estate Investor Needs to Know About Cash Flow by Frank Gallinelli.
Okay, I have to admit, that title doesn't exactly scream must read.
I know, it sounds very niche, right?
Yeah, like I'm not planning on investing in real estate anytime soon.
Fair enough. But this book is about more than just real estate. It's about understanding cash flow, which is the lifeblood of any business.
Okay, that makes more sense. So even if we're not flipping houses, we can still learn something from this book.
Absolutely. It teaches you the fundamentals of accounting, which is essentially the language of business.
Okay, now I'm intrigued. Mastering the language of business, that sounds powerful.
It is. All right, so we've covered mindset, health, and wealth. 3 crucial pillars for building a successful business.
But knowledge is only power if you use it, right?
Exactly. Which brings us to the final sphere of influence skills.
Okay, let's get tactical. What skills does Vicino recommend we focus on?
He believes that most skills are best learned by doing, but he also suggests a framework for a few key skills.
So it's like a combination of hands-on experience and structured learning.
Right. He focuses on what he calls the 3 legs of business: marketing, operations, and finance, which we already covered in the wealth section.
Right. So let's start with operations. What's his top pick for optimizing our operations?
Traction by Gino Wickman. It introduces something called the Entrepreneurial Operating System, or EOS.
EOS sounds high-tech. What is that?
Think of it as an operating system for your business. It helps you streamline your operations, improve communication, and achieve your goals.
So it's like a system for getting everyone on the same page and working together effectively.
Exactly.
Hmm.
Especially helpful for new entrepreneurs who might be feeling overwhelmed.
Right. It's like having a roadmap or a blueprint for running your business smoothly.
Precisely. And then we have The Goal by Eliyahu Goldratt. This one's a classic, and it's all about identifying and addressing bottlenecks.
Bottlenecks, like those things that slow everything down.
Right. Goldratt calls it the theory of constraints. Every system has a constraint that's limiting its performance, and the key to improvement is to focus on that constraint.
So it's like a chain. It's only as strong as its weakest link. You have to identify and strengthen that weak link.
Exactly. And he uses a really engaging story to illustrate this concept. Makes it much more memorable than just reading theory.
I like that. I'm a sucker for a good story.
And even though the book focuses on a manufacturing setting, the principles are applicable to any business.
It's about recognizing that every system, whether it's a factory or a team or even our own personal lives, has limitations, and we have to figure out how to work within those limitations.
It's about working smarter, not harder.
Okay, now I know we talked about Alex Hormozy's book, $100 Million Offers, in the wealth section, but it seems like it also has a lot to do with operations.
It does. It's about crafting irresistible offers, which is essential for attracting customers and driving sales.
Okay, so it's like a bridge between operations and marketing.
You could say that. Hormozy emphasizes understanding your target market and creating offers that are so compelling they can't say no.
So it's about creating value and then presenting it in a way that's truly enticing.
Exactly. And Vicino credits this book with helping him accelerate his path to a $100 million company.
Wow. Okay, I'm definitely putting that one at the top of my reading list.
Yeah.
All right, now let's move on to the last leg of the business stool, marketing.
Lead generation is where it all begins, right?
Absolutely. You need a constant stream of potential customers to keep your business afloat.
And that's where Hormozy's other book, $100 Million Leads, comes in.
Ah, yes, the lead generation guru.
He provides a step-by-step process for building a lead generation machine. It's like a blueprint for attracting your ideal customers.
Okay, so if someone is struggling with lead generation, this book is a must-read.
Absolutely. It covers everything from identifying your ideal customer to crafting compelling lead magnets to choosing the right marketing channels.
It's like having a marketing consultant in your back pocket.
Exactly. And finally, we have a classic that might seem a little old school in today's digital age, but trust me, it's still incredibly relevant. Ogilvy on Advertising by David Ogilvy.
Ogilvy, he's like the godfather of advertising, right?
He is. And this book is a masterclass in the art of persuasion through the written word.
Okay, now, I have to admit, when I think of advertising, I think of flashy visuals, catchy jingles, all the bells and whistles.
But at its core, advertising is about communication. And words are the foundation of communication.
That's true. Even in today's world of video and social media, we still need to use words effectively.
Exactly. Ogilvy was a master copywriter, and his book teaches you how to write headlines that grab attention, body copy that persuades, and calls to action that convert.
So it's like a secret weapon for anyone who wants to improve their writing and become more persuasive.
Absolutely. Whether you're writing a website, an email, or even just a social media post, Ogilvy's insights can help you get your message across more effectively.
Wow, we've covered so much ground already, and we haven't even gotten to the skills section yet. I'm feeling a little overwhelmed, but also incredibly inspired. It's like we've been given a treasure map to success.
That's a great way to put it. And I think that's what makes this deep dive so valuable. It's not just about these 16 specific books. It's about sparking a desire to learn and grow. It's about recognizing that we all have the potential to achieve great things.
And that the journey to success is ongoing. It's never truly finished.
Exactly. There's always more to learn, more to explore, and more to create.
I love that. So, as we wrap up this part of our deep dive, I want to leave our listeners with this thought. Choose one book from this list that really resonated with you and commit to implementing its key lessons over the next year.
It's a challenge, I know.
It is, but imagine the impact it could have on your life and business.
We'll be back soon to share our personal picks and delve even deeper into these powerful concepts.
Until then, happy reading and keep building that empire.
See you next time.